Satnam, and welcome to the Living Library. I'm Adi Nampreet, and today I have the pleasure of sitting with Didar Kaur, one of the contributing authors of the New Rules of Wellness, Volume 1, Transformational Stories from Health Experts Who Lead from the Heart. I love the idea behind this book because it brings together people who aren't only talking about wellness from what they've learned professionally, they're also sharing something of their own lives as they've experienced it, and it's what shaped them and their understanding of the work. And that's what I'd like to explore today with Didar. Didar, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Satnam, for inviting me.
So I thought we might begin with the title of the book itself, because it raises a really interesting question. The book is called The New Rules of Wellness. So what are the old rules of wellness? What are we finally outgrowing?
When I think of that, I think we're beginning to outgrow the idea that wellness has to look a certain way, or there might be only one way to be healthy. After more than 40 years of teaching, I've learned that wellness means different things for different people. And wellness should meet us where we are, not where we think we should be. But when someone needs it when they're 30, maybe they'll need something different when they're 70. Sometimes wellness is movement, sometimes it's strength. Sometimes it's learning to breathe consciously, and sometimes it's simply having a rest, or connection, or laughter, or simply giving ourselves permission to slow down. For me, wellness isn't about perfection. It's about supporting ourselves to be the best we can today and accepting where we are.
And that makes a lot of sense, really, doesn't it? To accept where we are each day instead of trying to be somewhere else each day, looking into the future or back into the past. Yes. And one of the things that really stood out to me about your book is leading from the heart. And you've kind of just touched on that a little bit, but what does that actually mean to you in your own life?
That's a really good question. Because for me, it means leading from the heart is about seeing and feeling the person in front of you. I can have a beautifully planned session, but the person in front of me may need something completely different from me that day. It's about not just seeing them, but it's about feeling them, feeling the real person in front of you. It's about someone just throwing away what your mind might have thought and following with your heart. Leading from the heart for me means listening, observing, and being willing to adapt. It's also about creating a space where a person feels safe enough to be themselves. And that sometimes is being vulnerable. And I think leading from the heart also is about standing in front and saying, I'm here. Don't follow me, but I'm just here for you.
And that is lovely. I know with even my classes, sometimes when they walk in through the door, they've had the day from hell, and all of my planning just falls away because what I had planned has nothing to do with how they've just entered the room. So I understand that completely.
I think that's a really important. I used to think it was a tool, but I don't think it's a tool. I think it's a gift. And I think us as wellness people in wellness, whether you're a yoga teacher or some sort of other wellness professional, it's about understanding and listening. And also too, even for me, I just watch people when they walk in the room. And sometimes if their head's down, their shoulders are up, I can just tell so much that they're hurting that day or they're not happy with themselves. And I don't know, they could have had a fight with their family. They possibly really hurting for grieving a loved one. And I think just taking the time and space to hold that for them, not necessarily even asking, just being there and doing what you can to help.
And it's such a subtle thing that they don't even notice that you've changed those things and that you're there to help. It's your energy, isn't it?
It is. It is all about energy. And it's all about, I suppose, moving yourself into a different direction as well. And about, I suppose, becoming authentic and meeting that person where they are today. Not where they were yesterday, last week, where they could be tomorrow, but accepting them however they are today for who they are.
Beautiful. And was there a moment in your own life where healing became very real and not something that was a theoretical kind of thing anymore?
I think when I think of that question, I just think a lot of things all at once. I think healing became real for me when I understood that healing doesn't mean you need to fix something. And that's within yourself, like it was within myself. I needed to heal, but I didn't need to fix anything. And the same with other people now. I don't need to fix anything to heal them. I just need to meet them where they are and be there. If you think about, I could say that from many years of yoga, meditation, breath, and teaching other people, I think really I've come to understand that learning to be present with myself, but also teaching other people to be present with themselves rather than constantly trying to change themselves. Sometimes healing is simply finding a more space inside a person to help them breathe. I think that's what I've found.
Yeah, that's lovely. And so over the years, you've spent many, many years teaching yoga and other sort of physical and spiritual modalities. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Whether it's from someone come to see me privately on a one-on-one, and normally I don't have any idea how I can help them. I just meet them and we have a chat. And sometimes it's not about what they do say, it's about what they don't say. And I just listen and I watch what's happening with their heart and their beat. And I pay attention to the facial expression when they talk. But normally it's about what they don't say. Because quite often everyone will come in, they've made an appointment to see me because the doctor or somebody's referred them to me. And then they just say, life's great. And so that I've learned to just sit and watch and then just ask no complicated questions, just keep it very simple and very real. How can I help? And normally most people say, I'm not sleeping. And then I go, So I don't actually look to fix why we're not sleeping. I look to ease them at that point in time to help them, assist them to sleep by teaching them a simple breath. Then we have more conversation about why we may not be breathing or sleeping. It's always connected, because if you're not sleeping, you're quite tense and your body's not functioning, which means you'll be breathing very shallow and very quickly. So I think it's all about just taking the time to listen, not particularly ask questions, just be there for a very friendly chat. And people quite often will say things to myself that they wouldn't necessarily say to a family member because they think they'll be judged or a family member will want to fix. Whereas I normally don't want to fix, I just want to listen with no judgment.
Yeah, so it's really reading between the lines of their facial expressions and their thoughts, really, isn't it? And that's a gift in itself.
It is a gift in itself, and it takes time. And I think being very neutral within yourself and not bringing any prejudgments I think the first time I ever learned how to do that was actually when I did a course many years ago, and a person, we just had done something that we really bothered us when we saw people, and I couldn't think of anything, to be honest, because nothing really bothers me when I see a person. But this other person in the course said she got bothered when she saw people wear thongs on their feet.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yes, I thought I'd add that because I'm not sure this might go internationally, that I thought people might think, yes, the other thong. But thongs in Australia, thongs are worn on your feet. And so it was a whole thing for her, and she had to admit, and she didn't know where it came from. But she said when she saw a person with thongs on their feet, she classed them as, here in Australia, we would call them a bogan, like a lower class citizen. And that's what her preconception was. And she didn't know where it came from, and she was horrified. So I suppose quite often in life, people do come with preconceptions about people. You might see it could be anything from age, gender, creed, race. And I think it's just accepting, not just us, but I think and this is me living in a pie in a sky world, but I would really hope one day that everyone just sees the soul, the gentle soul within us all.
That would be lovely, wouldn't it?
It
Especially in this day and age where everybody seems to be so much more stressed and there's so much more going on in people's lives that you just don't know unless, of course, you're very close to that person. And even then, sometimes you still don't know exactly what's going on in their lives.
No. And people like to hide it, and they like to say everything's fine.
Yeah, that's right. So what do you wish that people understood about wellness that often gets missed when this kind of thing happens?
First thing I usually wish is that people always remember that wellness is not complicated. We're surrounded and bombarded by messages on Facebook and socials and everything else, and AI telling us we need to buy this, achieve this, to completely change our lives and become well. Yeah. It hits us every single day, and you can't get out of it. Like, turn the television on. It's everywhere, even the radio. But some of the most powerful tools we have are really available for us. Our breath is our first one. Just paying attention to how you breathe. Everyone goes, oh, I know how to breathe. And I go, because it's just taking that time to work out, well, how many seconds are you inhaling for and exhaling? Are they coming to the top of your lung or down to your body? One healing breath can do wonders. Quite often, when we get upset, we have a big sigh. It's your body relaxing and trying to say, give me some more breath. It's our body, our movement, our stillness, our nature, and our connection with other people. Quite often, one of the best things for wellness is sometimes it can be to walk out your door and go for a simple walk if you're able to do that. Or sometimes it's to be able just to get out in the sunshine again if you're able to do that. Or sometimes it's just easy, a simple, really simple thing is remembering we're okay. And we actually are perfect the way we are. I think we're our own worst judgment sometimes.
Yes. We've been brought up in a world where there's so much advertising about what the perfect person looks like and things like that, that we've forgotten that we're perfect the way we are. Would you like to read a passage out of your book?
This book?
Oh, yes, that one.
And it's interesting because mine is the last chapter, or there's not really chapters because they're standalone, inspiring tales from quite a few different people. And I'm the last one because I class that as special. And it was just given to me as a gift. And I think no matter where you are in the book, I think it's special because I think the whole book's special, but
Absolutely.
I'm a bit
It
prejudiced
is a
on
very
that.
special book. I like it
It's a,
too.
it's a lovely book because you can pick it up and just read one little snippet and you don't have to read it from front to back. If you've only got 10 minutes in your life, this is a quick little one. You could read someone's journey, someone how they helped, and that's all you need to read. That could be all you need for the day.
Yeah, that's right. And so each different chapter is a different aspect on the rules of wellness as they see them.
Yes, as the new rules, and that's from all different people that heal, all different healing modalities, and just different people's perceptions on healing and how they approach it. No one's right or wrong. But together, it's basically it's a bit like chatting to people. Sometimes you just gel with that person. And the same with if you're looking for someone to help heal you, or just, I call myself a life doula because I just assist people to be the best that they can be today.
Yes, that's
And
beautiful.
I think that's really a blessing to have.
Mm.
So I'll just do
It
this
is.
small reading for you.
Okay,
This
thanks.
is the beginning of my little chapter, we'll call it. Let's face it, sometimes life gets hard and we all need to be heard. We feel supported and have trust in someone. I hold space. What is that? I hear you think. Some of my wellness family, and I call every single person that I've ever had a session with a part of my family. I carry them in my heart. They call me the calmness in the chaos of life. I assist them to find their space, inner calmness, and resilience. Where you can breathe long and deep again and enjoy your life to the fullest, whatever that may look for you. I hold space for you and I hold your hand.
That is beautiful, beautiful words. And it's actually true. A lot of people out there don't understand when somebody says that they're holding space for you. The whole that concept, that wording doesn't gel in people's minds sometimes until they have the correct meaning behind it. And that is such a beautiful passage.
Thank you. And that's how I feel. And it's I just feel a blessing to be able to just be there and assist people.
So, so that's part of what's in your chapter of the book. When the readers get to read the book, they can expect what? Do you think? It's sort of trying to get the.
They can expect lots of different, from myself and the other contributing authors that were blessed to be a part of the book, because we're all invited to be part.
Yep.
I think they may expect, or I would think that they would expect to find something that resonates with them. And they may read part one and go, maybe that's not for me, but that's for me. I'm hoping that they will find that it's a bit inspiring, but it also may show them that other people out there are doing it tough sometimes too, and they're not alone.
So what inspired all of you to come together to write this book?
I think there was just there was one person that sort of did invite us, and she herself is a very talented person that supports and assists so many people on their journey to wellness, Dr. D. And we've all been in her life in one way or another. And I think we all had a very common goal, and that was to help heal the world. My goal is to help heal the world one person at a time. I may not get there in my this lifetime, but every one person I assist, that's one person who might assist someone else.
Exactly. It's like that domino effect where it carries on. Yeah, the kindness. Beautiful. I like that. So for somebody watching who feels unsure or disconnected from their own well-being, what would you say to them?
I think I would say just start where you are. You don't have to change anything today. Because quite often we hop up and we go, okay, today's the day I'm going to change. And then it becomes quite overwhelming because you go, well, where do I start? So that's why I would say just start exactly where you are. Just notice your breath, take a short walk, sit quietly, but move your body in what resonates with you today. And that's why I'm not saying go for a 10-kilometre walk, just whatever you feel is achievable for you. And it may be just sitting on your couch with no music and no TV on. Or it could be putting a lovely piece of music on that inspires you. Or it could be simply putting a music on, an akadaka, and dancing around the lounge too. It's whatever feels right for you. There's nothing right and nothing wrong. Don't wait till you're fitter, or calmer, or more flexible, or more confident. Start exactly where you are. And by just making one small little choice, that's the first step.
Yeah, and that's excellent advice, because that's the best place to start. And it's not putting pressure on yourself. It's just really meeting you where you are, and then you just take that little step and you've made the first step. And that's such great advice. I really, really like that. Thank you for sharing. If you had one thing that you wanted to add to this interview, what would that be? What would you tell them? What would you tell the readers?
I would say just one sentence. And that would be, may you have the courage to choose yourself today and accept yourself exactly where you are. You are perfect, just as you.
And that should be on a magnet on the fridge or a bumper car sticker.
It might have to be a bit of a big bumper sticker, but it does not matter.
No, that's right. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Didar, for having a chat with me today about your wonderful book that you've co-written with all these other people who have lovely stories in there as well about their wellness journeys and the new rules to wellness. So thank you, Satnam. And where can they get this book?
They can. I'd love to say every good bookshop sells it, but it's not true. They can contact myself or contact you. I'm pretty sure that Kundalini Books Australia, New Zealand, they do have that book in stock, and that would be a really, really good place to start. And if you're not in Australia, New Zealand, make contact with them, and I'm quite sure they would be happy to send anyone a copy. Postage wouldn't be very expensive, but it is a lovely, lovely read. It's an inspiring book. There were a couple of people
it's very inspiring.
There were a couple of people in there that I actually did not know, and when I read the journey that they'd had, that inspired me, because some people wrote their little chapter of their journey for their inspiration. I wrote mine on someone else's inspiration that I assisted with their permission, just how I assisted them. So there's it's just a lovely inspirational book, because sometimes it's just nice to rather than read a book from start to finish, it's just to pick up 10 minutes, read. Just sometimes that's what we need.
Yeah, and it's more achievable to pick up a book and read it in small passages, short passages, and instead of sitting there and finding that you've lost track of time and you've still got the dishes to do or the washing to hang out or or finish your work project or something like that. So it's nice just to even have a small break in the day where you can just pick up this book and read it for 10 minutes, any chapter.
It is. It's absolutely lovely. And I think we're pretty blessed that, well, personally, this is just my personal view, that the larger bookshops, face-to-face bookshops, the generic ones, haven't actually stopped it, because that means the smaller boutique ones like Kundalini Books Australia, New Zealand, they stock it. So, and you can buy it through them online. It's nice to help the smaller people. And I'm not saying going large is anything wrong with that. It's just, I just feel it's just nicer to help the smaller people. And that, for me, that sort of goes and resonates in with me, helping one person at a time.
Yeah, it does. It sits well with that, doesn't it?
It does.
Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you wanted to add at this point?
There is. I wish anybody and everybody that may be blessed to come along and watch this, that if you're having one of those days where you're not quite sure what you're doing, you're not alone. Sometimes I get up and go, what am I doing? Then I go, that's okay. And I'll have a little walk, or I'll put a bit of music on, or I'll sit on my mat and usually do a meditation, but that's just me. But always have faith that you are where you are supposed to be at this point in time. And take one step at a time. And don't be afraid. Reach out.
Lovely words. Thank you so much. So Satnam, thank you. Thank you for joining me. This was our first podcast interview for Kundalini Yoga Books Australia, New Zealand. So thank you, Didar, for joining me. It's a special day and it is a very special book that you're part of.
And thank you so much for inviting me. Well, I know we did have a problem organising our schedules, but we got here. And I'm so blessed that you're so blessed. We're both busy people. But that is fine, because there's lots of people out there to help. Thank you so much for taking the time inviting me. Satnam.
You're welcome. Satnam.